And welcome to this Python tutorial. So we were just done creating the bag of words model, so now let's analyze it, let's see what it is, and let's see if we can improve it. So the code just executed well, so now let's go to Variable Explorer to have a better look at this bag of words model. And here is our beautiful sparse matrix. As you can see, it's huge. It has 1000 lines and 1565 words. That is that, when we took all the words of the 1000 reviews in the corpus, well, in total we got 1565 words. Now imagine you have 1 million reviews to analyze to train your model. Well, in this case, you would get more than 1 million words. And that would lead you to huge sparsity. So, two things to say about this. First, we can play with another parameter here, which is, if we go back to Object Inspector, use this max features parameter, which will keep the most frequent words in your reviews. So, that will remove the non-relevant words that appear only in 1 or 2 reviews. These are not relevant words. We can find some very easily. If we go back to the corpus, well, typically Rick, Steve here is not a relevant word at all. Not only it's not a relevant word, but also it won't appear in the other reviews. I bet that if we have a look at the 1000 reviews, it appears only once. So that's not a relevant word. And by playing with this max features parameter here, we can filter that kind of words by removing them. So let's actually do this. Let's actually add this max features parameter to filter the non-relevant words. And so let's see what maximum features value we can input. Well, to decide about this, we need to have a look at the number of words that we're taking from the reviews, from the 1000 reviews, and each one attributed to one column. Well, here we see that we have 1565 columns. That means that 1565 words were taken from the reviews. And so, for example, we can filter the non-relevant words by only taking the 1000 most frequent words. Or if we want to be careful, the 1500 words. So let's actually pick this number, 1500. So by inputting here max features equals 1500, well, we will just keep the 1500 most frequent words in our corpus of reviews here. So let's reselect these 3 lines to create our new sparse matrix of features. So pressing Command and Control plus Enter here to execute. Here we go. And now, as you can see, our sparse matrix of features contains 1500 columns, that is 1500 words. And not only that reduces the sparsity, but also that gives us most relevant words to train our algorithm, which therefore has more chance to make better correlations between the presence of the words in the reviews and the outcome of the reviews, whether they are positive or negative. And now the second thing I wanted to say about sparsity is that we can also reduce it thanks to dimensionality reduction techniques, which we will see later in this course in part 9, dimensionality reduction. So pressing OK here, we are done with the bag of words model. Congratulations, you just created your bag of words model for this particular problem. Congratulations, you just created your bag of words model for all our reviews here. So now to proceed to the next step, which is to train our machine learning models, which are classification models, on our bag of words model, well, we need, of course, the dependent variable, because right now we only have the sparse matrix of features, that is the matrix of independent variables. And so we need to include the dependent variable as well. Otherwise, our machine learning models can't be trained because they simply won't have the outcome to understand the correlations. So let's quickly create this dependent variable. So we'll call it y, exactly as in part 3, because the deal is to simply copy paste our models that we created in part 3 and apply them very efficiently without changing anything. So that's why we keep the same names here, and therefore y equals, And what is our dependent variable? So exactly like in part 3, we take our data set, and since it's a data frame imported with pandas, now we need to add this dot iloc to take the index of the dependent variable column. So we add some brackets here. Then we want to take all the rows of the data frame because we want to take all the reviews. So we add a column here that's taking all the reviews, all the rows, and then comma to proceed to the choice of the index of the column. And that is, if we have a look at our data set, that is the index 1, because very simply our data frame has 2 columns. Indexes in Python start at 0, so this column has index 0 and this column has index 1. And that's the column we need because that is the column containing all the results, whether the reviews are positive or negative. So that's nothing else than our dependent variable, and therefore we need to input the 1 index here. And that's almost done. Remember, we need to add a dot here with values, and that's it. We are ready to select this line to create our dependent variable vector. So let's press Command or Control plus Enter to execute. Here it is, Y is ready, and therefore now we have everything we need to train our machine learning classification models on our bag of words model. So we'll do that in a minute, and until then, enjoy.